Good morning. How are you today? Wasn't it Roy Rogers used to sing "Happy Trails to You until we meet again"? I'm not going to sing it. That'd be too much punishment. And I like to continue our relationship on a higher plane. In Loudoun County, where I am, boy, listen to the cicadas, and that's exactly what I was going to refer to. There's a Mexican restaurant that's feeding people cicada tacos. I'm not signing up. Those of you who do, keep aware that this isn't good for everybody in the sense that if, say, you're allergic to shellfish, this is very much like a shellfish when they clean it up and put it in a pot and put it in a taco. So I'm not going to try that. I'm very excited that Trump's blog is turned into a disaster, which means he's not worth listening to among those crazy ditto heads who have followed him in the past. And so his menacing, toxic thinking is spreading, maybe without him, within the body politic, among those 30% plusers who are monarchical in tendency. Anyhow, that's where they are. Another piece of good news is that Netanyahu is on the ropes. Looks like he's going to be ousted. Good riddance to bad rubbish. You may remember he sided with Trump, and he became less reliable the longer he was in the position and in the power that he had in Israel. And he's also under indictment, so maybe he'll beat Trump into an orange jumpsuit. Maybe not the leading question, but certainly one of them is, what are we going to do about voting in America? We have so many states trying to cut it back. And I'm not going to go over old ground, but there are developments that are worth thinking about it. One is that Biden has spoken out against members of the Democratic caucus who are not on board. And that's really only two people. It's Sinema and Manchin. And he's calling for action. And he's calling for action for Senate 1, which is the electoral reform bill. So that's very good news. But there's another exciting thing going on, and it has to do with our vice president. Harris asked to be put in charge of pushing for electoral reform. That's very important, because we know that a key element of that is that persons of color are being discriminated against by these so-called reforms, which are really Jim Crow laws to compromise persons of color when they go to vote, and others that are perceived to vote a certain way who happen to be Democrats. And so they're trying to limit the vote and in that way control the outcome, and in that way have more Republicans elected, even though undeserving and not the choice of the people. So now Harris is in an interesting position, because Kamala is not just a person of color, she is a rainbow of minority conditions at a time when America is unable to embrace our unity despite differences. And I think so she's an exciting person to propound this, instead of our president, but not alone, but who is a white male. And that has its values too, because a white male, me, others, we're speaking against other white males that would discriminate, who again embrace the monarchical arch of the new Republican Party, who believe in, I guess, some form of totalitarianism because they don't want to rely on the Democratic vote. So, and Harris, if we get the two holdouts among the Democrats to back off their position against the 60 vote minimum and to support a majority vote, it's very possible that we would need all 50 Democrats and the vice president, who has been propounding this as the 51st vote. And that's symbolically just gorgeous. And this is a fight that will carry us into the midterms in a good way, because we won't just be creating a political issue if we succeed. That is to say, something we can hold up against Republicans and say they're unfair and they discriminate. It would be a piece of action actually resulting in a change in the law now, sufficiently advanced to the elections, so that we can use this in litigation and otherwise, but also politically in the midterms. So those of us who want to preserve what we obtained in the elections in November and the lies about it by the Republicans, and now these crazy votes in Texas, Georgia, Florida to limit voting, have a chance with the push of the president, with the leadership of the vice president, with a renewed sense of dedication by the Senate Majority Leader, Schumer. So this is a good time. Now, those of you who are calling, and I know it's not easy, and they have these ways to screen you in the sense of it's with some difficulty to get through and leave a message, but leave an email a day for those two senators, particularly Manchin, the most visible one. So I don't want to hold you up. Go out and get your cicada sandwich or avoid it. Walk your trails if you can. Happy trails to you. And I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.